We're gonna try to start off with a roll call as best we can here. So I'm just gonna go down this list here, and if I miss you now, if you're not here now, you can sound off later. But we'll start with Anderson. We got anybody from Anderson Hospital?
Eric Brandmeyer.
Hey, Eric. Morning. Alton.
Good morning.
Gary here.
Hey, morning, Gary. Boyd.
Morning.
No Nancy today. Okay. Carlinville. Staunton.
This is Sue. I'm here.
Quick with the mute button, I see this morning. Very good. Fayette County Hospital. Tina, you there this morning? Gateway.
Danielle Ramon here.
Hey, good morning. HSHS Holy Family. St. E's. St. Joseph Breeze or Highland. Jersey.
Kelly's here.
Hey, good morning. I got Lee and myself here. We'll do the memorial thing. How about Memorial Chester?
Georgia's here.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
OSF St. Anthony's.
Here, Gary.
Hey. Redbud. Sparta. Touche. All right, no shade. All right, we'll go on to the health departments. And I know I'll probably screw this up because I know some of them don't fully exist, but we'll run through. Terry, you on from Bond? I just talked to him just a little bit ago. Maybe he's calling in. Calhoun? Clinton?
Tiffany's here from Clinton.
I'm sorry, who was that?
It's me, Tiffany.
Hey. Good morning, Tiffany.
Hey. I'm going to be in and out because we have a other conference call we're on too. So.
Oh, snap. Okay. Sounds like fun for your exercise. I know. Eastside Health. Any other health departments? I'll just leave it there because I know some folks are out.
Vicky with Monroe County.
Dang it. Vicky and who else? From Monroe and who else?
Angie from Randolph County.
Gotcha. I'll put a good community partners list up there. Greg, you on from IDPH?
I'm here.
Thank you. Beth, are you on? Not this morning. Anybody from BJC? Any of our EMA partners out there, St. Clair County, any county? MedStar.
I'm here.
Hey, gotcha, John. Helen, you on from SLU? What about Scott or Air Force Base or STARS?
Scott's here.
Hey, morning, Tim. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and press forward. Agenda. Oh, snap! I heard you call in early. I apologize, Scott. I got you. So, and we're gonna talk about you first, I believe. So, first thing on the agenda to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is the regional clinical advisor position. As you guys know, this is a required position this year. So, we went out, we put the position together back in early April, got it approved in late May, early June, opened it up for applications. I think we had a total of 5 applicants fully, 2 of which really weren't passed on this way for one reason or another by our talent acquisition folks, and then 3 others. And then Scott Klosterman applied, who is a nurse here on One Center, and he received the position. So, and a lot of you folks have probably already met Scott at least once or twice. He was at the convention or the IDPH summit this year. He was, you've seen him probably at your decon training if you've hosted one. He is one of our decon team chiefs. here at Memorial Hospital Belleville, as well as one of our vetted instructors that we have. He's went through the hazmat operations course down at CDP, a few other courses down at the CDP, HURT being one of those. Basically, we've got him for 40 hours a month. That's pretty much it. We're gonna have him for 1 week a month, and it's gonna be the first week of each month. He'll be starting officially on the 4th of the first week of November. So I think the 4th is that Monday. So he'll be here starting to work. So you guys, when you get a chance to see him at our next face-to-face, please shake his hand and congratulate him on earning this position. And I think he's gonna bring wealth of knowledge. While he doesn't have a ton of emergency management experience, he's been one of the folks over the last 2 to 3 years who have shown an extreme interest and has gotten the education to back that interest up. So now he wants to start to implement a lot of that education. So there's a lot more education on here than I have listed. So again, please welcome him when you get the opportunity. Any questions about that position? Nope. All right. So give you a quick update on the grant. I did talk with the folks over at IDPH this morning. What I can say is, since our last one, it needed to clear both legal and fiscal. So from right now, it has cleared legal review and pending fiscal approval. Hopefully, I know the date was supposed to be September 30th. That was their target to be approved by. We've made it over the larger hurdle, I would say, which is a legal review. The fiscal review should go a lot easier this year based on the feedback that we received thus far and what we went through last year. So I'll be probably bothering Teresa and crew at IDPH at least once per week. So I bothered yesterday/today. I'll be bothering again next week to keep you guys all in the know on when we do have an approved and then an executed grant. You guys know who have submitted project requests in years prior. There will still be some more paperwork that we have to do. I just ask for both your patience and to be quick on the draw with that paperwork. The reason being is that we want to get the money in your hands as quick as possible so you can spend it. And then we want to, make it through that process unscathed. And the quicker we can get that done, the better off we are with fixing any errors that we may have. So any questions on the status of the grant? No? Okay. Project requests for the upcoming BP. As we've been talking about this all year, one of the things that we did change in our governance documents is that we've pushed up the deadline. We talked about that back in May, right after we kind of approved our governance documents. We pushed up the deadline. That deadline is December 15th, the year prior each year. So those project requests is open. This is something that we're probably not going to put an extension to. So if you have project requests coming up for FY 21, July 1 next year that you want to be able to execute on, you need to get those into the submission form out there on Member Planet as soon as possible. Please don't delay. We really, really, really want you to have a project that we all can benefit from, but we can't do that if there's nothing in the system. So, and as of right now, there is only one project request in there, and it's been open since July 1st. So please don't wait till the last minute. Any questions on the project requests and the status of that? All right. We'll do a quick little PPE and equipment update. I'll kind of round this stuff up. I got Lee over my shoulder. I'll talk to it a little bit and I'll turn it over to him. But what I can tell you is that we still have approximately 9,000 that we had on this last grant that we're finishing up with purchasing PPE. Most of that's going to be targeted at providing hardened outserts for the lens, for the soft polyurethane lens on the Decon air purifying respirators that we have there. So you can kind of see a picture of that on the slides that I've sent out. You definitely will need that over time. So we're going to be buying those. They're a good clip. I don't know, about $50 each.
Yeah.
Roughly. Okay. So we got to get a lot of those. The other thing that we purchased and we did receive in are some K8 miniature. They call them miniature dosimeters, but they're radiation alarms. It's the looks like a little pager. It's really tiny. It's probably about 1 inch by 1 3/4 inches. Pretty much designed to provide you notification if there is some radiation present in the environment that you're in or close to whomever's wearing that dosimeter. Target audience for that is for people who are triaging folks on a mass casualty incident, maybe a few decon folks, or maybe some of your greeters or security that may run into folks or have to direct folks that are coming in from a mass casualty incident. Definitely not to be worn day to day, because I mean, you can wear them day to day. There's no problem with it, but you probably go through more batteries than you want to. So my recommendation would be to just implement the use of them, maybe, a week at a time for, on a given month. So folks are familiar with them when you receive them. And just integrate them with your exercises, your decon exercises, or your mass casualty incident exercises. So, you can introduce a dirty bomb component to that. Again, also, we received in our Ludlums, the Friskers. Those are the exact same ones we used during the decon training. So we received all those in. And we still have an abundance of boots that we've received in and assorted PPE. We always get the question, hey, can we pick that stuff up? What do we need to do to pick it up? What do we need to do to pick it up? All you got to do is shoot myself or Lee an email, and we will set up a date and time for you to swing by and pick it up. We are looking at options of probably a better distribution model for future purchases. I'd love to be able to get that stuff to you right in your hands without having to come here to pick it up, that we can get it delivered to you. So we're looking at that for future purchases. But as of right now, the suits, boots, masks, or the air purifying respirators, these Friskers and these K8s, we got a ton of that stuff here for pickup. So whenever you're ready to pick it up, please swing by. You don't need a big truck to do it, just probably a cleared out trunk and maybe a back seat if you're in a sedan. That's about it. I'm asking you guys to try to pick it up before December 1st, or we're going to absorb that here at Memorial and with our partners on Remert and St. Clair Special Emergency Services. So we can't be a repository for it. We just really don't have a lot of space to hold on to it. So do you guys have any questions on any of the equipment? All of this has been loaded into D4H, so we are tracking it where it's at. Lee, is there anything you want to add to any of the equipment that we have? Or
nothing really specific at this point. We are looking at some potential changes, possibly with the suits going forward. We found a vendor that does unlimited shelf life. So we may move towards that just to reduce the amount we have to swap out.
Yeah, that's a great catch. So yeah, we're looking at two different manufacturers specifically for the Decon coveralls that we're using. They would still retain the exact same protection factor, but again, shelf lives in Decon areas are kind of a branding thing, if anything. And they're, a liability for some of the manufacturers. So some, hey, no more than 5 years. Others now, or at least are saying, as long as it's inspected and good to go, they're not going to put a shelf life on it. So if you maintain it in a temperate environment, indoors, 24/7, and it's not subject to vast temperature changes, you shouldn't have any issue with the vast majority of that type of equipment. All right. Coalition surge tests. so far, just a quick update on this. We did pick up a few more folks, so now we got 4 hospitals that will be participating. So Staunton, Gateway, Memorial, and Chester, and Fayette. So this is great. I think this is a good thing. But we need 2 more assessors to assist with going out to some of the hospitals. If you don't know, Leanne, who's going to be definitely helping lead this, she's going to be out for a while. She just had some surgery, and her duration of how long she's going to be out is probably going to be extended. So we want to knock this out, but we need some more assistance. So if you're willing to assist or help, and it doesn't take a lot to assist and facilitate, because we'll have a lead facilitator, which will be myself or Lee, and then our satellite facilitators will just make sure they're monitoring, taking notes, and just help the conversation go along. So it's not a very tough job or assignment out there. Just takes some time. It takes about, including the drive, probably takes about half a day, maybe 4 to 6 hours out of your day to assist. So, but registration is closed. No more hospitals, please. That link has been shut down, so there won't be any more openings to participate in it. But we always have next year, and we're going to have to do it again anyway. So,
Hey, Phil.
yes.
So I have a question. What is our goal with the Coalition Surge Test? Are we wanting all of our hospitals to participate?
The goal, as written, and I think we've shared this a couple times, is that we need 20% of the acute. Right.
I mean, I get that part of it. I mean, do we have an overall goal? Is our desire to have all 19 of our hospitals participating in this Surge Coalition test? Because that's a pretty sad participation if, we only have 4 hospitals that are doing it out of our region.
So if I think I don't have the I think we slated the goals specifically at what was targeted. I have to go back and look into the work plan and how it's in egrams. I definitely would like to have 8 to 10 hospitals participating at once.
Because I will tell everybody out there that the other role I have, which is as the regional EMS coordinator, and we're doing EMS site surveys now at all of the systems, and all your hospitals belong to a particular system. And during these site visits, we are visiting those participating associate hospitals, and we are looking at their emergency preparedness. And that is regulatory. It's not just grant, it's in statute that we look at, and we're looking at emergency preparedness and is the hospital participating in system and coalitional exercises and things like that. So I just throw that out there as for informational purposes, because we'll be coming to your ED and sitting down with the emergency preparedness people and saying, okay, tell us, what you participated in and that kind of thing. So just letting everyone know that.
And I know a lot of folks really just want to get, not just want to get, yes, they want to prepare and they want to do the right portion of it. But to Greg's point, to have the regulatory stamp says, oh yeah, look, I participated in this exercise. So, which brings me to one other point. So we've been developing this AAR was pretty much done maybe a month ago, but we were missing a chunk out of it with regard to some of the data that was collected during it. So, and part of that data, it has nothing to do with the speed in which things were done, but it was some participation data in there. Hopefully today, or if not, at least by Friday, I'm going to send out what I'm going to consider the finalized version of this AAR, like we did for last year's version. It will be missing some participant info, not from the major hospital players, but some of our EMS participants. What I'm going to ask is that those who did participate to please, once you've got a chance to review it, and I'm going to send it out as final, but we'll make an addendum to it and adjust the participating, whether EMS agencies or whatnot that may have participated that we did not capture during it. We won't make that mistake this year because I'm going to set in a few controls so we don't have that issue this year. So please, when that goes out, please take a look at it and make an adjustment to it, or just send back any feedback that you might have. surge estimation tool, the surge estimator tool. We've been talking about this the last 3 meetings. This is our due date we had in there was on the 9th, and I extended that out from our last meeting. And it's kind of crazy. It says it's due on 9/19, and we have 9 out of 19 hospitals that have completed it. I didn't realize that. So if your name's in orange, if your name's in green, you complete it. You're good to go. But need folks, and I'll be sending out some specific targeted emails. But we need to get that information because I have to collate that information and put it into a tool, and it crunches numbers and spits out something in the end. I'm presuming that we have to turn back into Asper. So this is a requirement, and some of the folks that are here, again, if you're some of the folks that are maybe in the orange and you're gonna submit a project request, one of the things that's in that project request is will have information like this, that you complete the surge estimator tool, that you participate in the HVA, etc. So please complete that as soon as possible. The link is still open. You can click on the link here inside the slideshow. It'll take you right to it. It literally probably takes you 10, maybe 30 minutes if you don't have some of the information readily available, or maybe you have to track down somebody to ask a question. Do we have this type of NICU, or we don't? Because we don't. So any questions on this tool? It's pretty much a little survey. No questions? Okay. HVA, CPG, and MYTEP. So, let me back up one. Oh, I'm missing a slide here. Sorry. But there have been no changes on the HVA and the CPGs in SIMP. It is still showing the 2017 to 2022, the original BP. So there's been no changes yet. I don't know if Greg, I know we have a meeting on the 17th of this month, but I don't know if Greg, do you know any status updates with regard to SIMP and IDPH at all?
No, from what the delay is, from what I understand, is the contract getting done. So this year, from what I understand, the state, because there's only one vendor bidding, so like normally when they have things that goes to, multiple people bid and the state decides. Because SEMP is it's a system that we use, and we don't want to switch to a new system. We don't want to make everybody have to learn a new system every year. There's a whole different process when it's a single vendor, and it has to go vetted through a long process. And for some reason, from what I understand, the IDPH and ICS have come to an agreement on costs and everything like that. It's just literally the check has to be cut by the state, and they haven't done it yet. And as any business will do, they're not going to do anything until the check is cut. No. So I really think once the check's in their hand, they'll flip a switch and it'll all be done.
Okay. So
that's the last I heard.
No, please stay tuned for that. Also, I have to check now. I didn't check today, but now that we've changed over on the federal fiscal year, I need to check if the CAT tool is open on Asper's site. I haven't checked. I checked last month before our last meeting, and it wasn't. So I was predicting that potentially once we went into the new fiscal year that it would change over, but I don't know if that's available yet either. So I will check on that one, and once that one's out, I'll send that to the executive committee to review. All that said, I'd like to know everyone's thoughts on using our next meeting on the 6th. I know it's online, scheduled for online. But maybe to use it as a MYTEP workshop so we can go ahead and fill in the MYTEP within SIMP, because that's something that is still there that we can do out in future years, and maybe go over some of the CAT tool, CPGs, and everything else, just so everybody's familiar with that. What are you guys' thoughts on using that next meeting specifically for that?
Hey, Phil, this is Sue.
Yep.
Hey, what is this CAT tool you're speaking of? I don't recall, and not familiar.
Yeah, you haven't had to do this one specifically. I've forwarded the results. So what I do is I take all of your CPG and HVA information. I take that and then I interpret that and boil it down and put it into a coalition assessment tool. So I've been taking that data and using it to fill out there's a separate portion of CPGs that go along with that. That the feds use and I have to update. So you work in SIMP, I work in SIMP, but then I in turn take that information and then push it into this other tool. And I share that with the executive committee and we take a look at that. And if there's any major things, it's just another spreadsheet of filling in information. This year I wanted to try to, put more people, not that I want to put more hands in the pot, but I wanted to create a better awareness and understanding of how all of those things kind of tie together, and give you guys an opportunity to look at it. Now, I'm the only one that can access this tool. It's not a multi-use tool. It's not like SIMP at all. So it's something that I do annually. And basically, again, I just want to try to put some more awareness to the tool and the process. So, and I'm just trying to think, I know normally we set aside these monthly meetings for about an hour, but if we made the next one maybe 2 hours and we had an opportunity to look, everybody get a opportunity to touch and not touch, but see exactly what it's all about, and then have some input to it, as well as see how that connects with our MYTEP and our other CPGs and everything. So instead of just talking about, hey, we don't have a grant yet, for our next meeting. Hopefully we do have a grant by the next meeting, but I think you get what I'm saying.
I think that's a good idea, Phil.
Okay. Anybody else have any objections to that? Again, we can offer a space. So if you're nearby and you want to actually come down here, we can put it in a room and have folks around, and then do like we normally do, offer up some time online via conference call. We can use our fancy dancy cameras and stuff, and
And if you're in the area, it's a good time to pick up your stuff.
Hey, there you go. Lee's always trying to have a fire sale, so
yeah.
All right. So upcoming events. So that full-scale initial planning meeting for our ChemPAC exercise in the spring, that's on the 15th. And sorry for that link that wasn't working. Somehow that link got corrupted and it was going to our decon class, but that's since been fixed. I'm asking everybody, if you've received that email, to just go into Member Planet. You'll see it there on the events page. Sign up. If you're going to be participating in this is where, again, your tax dollars are going towards putting on a full-scale exercise, and they're going to pretty much run this cradle to grave for us. Another opportunity for, as Greg pointed out earlier, to meet whether they're your HVAP or JCO, IDPH, CMS requirements, whatever. Here's an opportunity to do that. This is going to be a fairly large event. So really, really looking forward to it. And that's going to be our first meeting on the 15th. Make sure you sign up. We got 2 more decon courses throughout the year, on the 21st and then the 14th. So those are open for you guys to sign up. We've been doing a lot of training here just across Memorial with our internal decon. So we've trained probably 30, 40 folks over the past 2 months. And we're trying to continue to push that on. If there's anything that's been a really good success, I'd say, that we've sponsored together as a coalition, has been this. So please take advantage. The emergency response to domestic and biological incidents. We're going to have to cancel that course. We had that scheduled for the 23rd of this month, but as of today, how many we got, Lee?
We have like 9 people currently registered. We have to have 20 by the close of business today, so they can book their airfare and their hotel. And we just aren't getting the participation to be able to continue that class.
Yeah, this is Gary Knowlton. That's a shame. I tried to promote it as best I could. I even put it out to all the EMS, fire, police. So that is a shame. I tried to promote it as best I could.
We will look at bringing it back and try to do something possibly next spring. I mean, it's a good course. There's a lot of good pertinent information, especially for some of the concerns right now. But we just have to be able to get the participation to make it happen.
Yeah. So we're gonna again refocus. Try to get this knocked out maybe February, March of next year, maybe. Fingers crossed. The next conference call is on the 6th, next month. Coalition surge test. I'm giving you guys a window. So for those of you guys who will be participating, there's your window, 10 to 23 November. So the IAM, the International Association of Emergency Managers, on the 15th through 20th. That's down in Savannah, Georgia. I'll be attending that. So will Lee. The National Healthcare Preparedness Coalition Conference is 2 to 5 December. I'll be attending that. Hopefully we'll have Scott Klosterman attending that as well. And hopefully if Leanne is back by that point in time, I think she'll be back by then. Fingers crossed.
We really hope so.
We hope so. That she'll be attending that one. The midterm planning meeting is scheduled for our ChemPAC exercise on the 4th. Now, that date may have to change because the Healthcare Coalition Preparedness Conference is the same time our routine face-to-face meeting, which we were going to piggyback on, is that exact same time. So that date might change. It might not, because I'm really the only person, well, and Leanne and Scott may be out of town, but Lee may be flying solo on that day. So if not, we're going to have to change the date. So please keep an eye out for that. So when that goes out there in the events calendar, we need you to make sure you sign up for it. Again, our BP1, BP2, or excuse me, our BP2 request deadline, that should say 12/15. So again, 15th of December, that form will be inactive and we will receive no additional regional project requests. Community healthcare planning and response to disasters, that's still going on?
That one is still going. The registration should be still open for that. And we still have seats available.
All right. And you can see the upcoming full-scale planning meetings throughout the year until we hit our exercise in the end of April. I know I sound like we had a question from someone. No? Okay.
Yeah, Eric just sent me a text and inquired about the decon class November 14th. That's here, correct?
Yep, that should be here. Yep.
That'll be down in our decon training area in our auditorium, I believe.
Yep. We got space, so. All right, all
Do you
that
need
said.
help?
Who was
Sure,
that? I'm
absolutely.
sorry. Who was that?
That was Eric.
Oh, it was Eric.
That was Eric.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on down. Of course.
Absolutely.
We can always use help.
Okay, yeah, I can help with that one.
Perfect. We'll take it.
All right, thanks.
Open floor. The floor is yours, team. You guys got anything? Questions? Concerns?
So this is Sue from Staunton.
Okay, Sue. Go ahead. I heard you, Terry. We'll catch you right behind
Just
Sue.
real quick, the ChemPAC midterm planning meeting, same day as our meet-in-person meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't those be combined?
It can be. That's not the issue. It's just that I'm going to be in Houston, and aren't you going to be in Houston with me in December?
Well, if the grant ever gets approved, I can't buy airfare until I got actual cash in hand.
But that's something that I think you'll be good to go by then. But that's the reason why we're looking at just changing the date, and I think we can.
Oh, okay.
I think we can make it one full meeting instead of trying to separate it. Only thing, the bad thing is, we have all of our other meetings that happen before that. That's kind of the only real issue with changing that date. So, the worst case scenario is we maintain the date, and when that goes on, I don't know how long we got it scheduled for, but that's just something that if we're down in Houston, that we're just have to take off from listening to the secretary of wherever speak and jump on a conference call in a quiet room at the hotel. That'd be the worst case scenario.
I believe it calls for 1.5 to 2 hours.
Yeah. So,
just for the planning meeting.
So Phil, how soon will we know if there's going to be a date change or if it's going to remain the same?
I would like to, have a firm, warm fuzzy to be able to send out probably by the middle of this month. So I'll give you probably 6 weeks notice before we change it.
Okay.
But as of right now, that's the date. We're just gonna have to toss around some ideas. If anybody's, and this is our opportunity to discuss it. If anybody feels like that we can do it on that same day, minus myself and potentially Scott or Leanne
And Sue.
Yeah. And Sam Bierman, because she's gonna be there too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tiffany's gonna be there.
No,
Okay.
think so.
Okay. So, but we could again still join in via conference call. It's not like we would still attend. So that's my vote. If I had to vote right now, we just keep it that same date. We don't miss anything. But that's the time that we use, and we'll have the space already available. So
I agree. Send that out.
I'm sorry. I heard an I agree, and then I heard something behind that.
That was John Nowak that said I agree. December is an extremely busy month for everybody trying to close out things for their year for the 19. And I can tell you, looking at my schedule now and for December, it would be difficult to change that date.
Okay. All right. So we're going to leave it as is right now, unless something drastic changes in the next 2 weeks. If it doesn't change in the next 2 weeks, it's not changing.
So Phil, this is just Helen again. So will you resend that out since there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of people are kind of confused?
Will do.
I thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And I know that, was it Terry that was behind Sue earlier?
Yeah, I was just telling you I got on late.
Okay. Any other questions?
Hey, Phil, you're sending everything out with Member Planet, right now?
Correct. That's where all.
Because I still have your meeting on my calendar. Was that ever canceled?
Yep, you can delete it. So yeah,
Okay.
Everybody received like this cancellation meeting on the last time when I tried to just get rid of it off of everybody's calendar. Then the questions came back. Hey, are we canceling the meeting? I was like, no.
Right, I know, but it popped up on mine again, and I accepted that cancellation. That's why I was curious. So,
I'm not sure. So yeah, if you have something that's on your calendar that's an old one, just grab the one out of Member. Once you grab the one out of Member Planet, I think it is perpetual when you even download it. It'll fill in properly, I believe. Don't quote me yet, but I believe it will. So, but it will always be this number that's on there is a perpetual number. So even if you don't have the link, this number and that PIN code is the same for eternity. So you don't have to worry about switching up any numbers or remembering anything else. You can just put this one in your phone, and this will be the one that we're using. All right. Any alibis? Last one. Going once, twice, thrice. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone's time. And if I don't see you before next month, have a great October. Trick-or-treating is going on. I was going to put our zombie baby up there, but hey, we'll see if they make it through Halloween. If the babies make it through Halloween.
Thanks, Phil.
Take care, guys.
Have a good day.